It is finally time to give my answers to the questions that I got from you to my around my 1,000 subscriber announcement. So here are the questions and the answers from me, the Q&A from 1,000 subscribers. Let's go and let's do this. My name is Rainer and this is Rainier Books. We are in January of 2023 and I have a few questions here, but very beautiful questions, so I want to tell you about these. The first question here comes from Ariane Fowler 455, who asks, is there one book from childhood or young adult that made you fall in love with reading, or did you come to love reading as an adult? I remember, as it was yesterday, no, I don't do that, but I still remember the city library in Mönchengladbach, where I grew up in Germany, and they had a small branch in Odenkirchen, which is the suburb where I grew up many years ago, many decades ago already. And they had a small library with squeaky wooden floors, and I was there for the first time, and I was really fascinated as I think 12, 13-year-old something boy walking there. At home I had read, my family was not so, they weren't readers, my parents weren't readers. They were children of the war, more or less. I started reading thrillers, so we called them Groschenhefte, which are like 60, there were always, I think, 60, 62 pages that were like stories about the New York FBI agent Jerry Cotton, who was super cool. He was a G-man with his friend Phil Decker, and that's what my brother and I, my brother is 4 years older, read when we were in our early teens. We watched a lot of movies otherwise, but then when I came to the library, I started reading books by Eric Ambler, a British author that I have called, in one of my first videos ever on BookTube, that I've called my favorite author, Eric Ambler, because Ambler is actually the one that got me to reading, I believe. And then in school, I had a very great experience when I was in 11th, 12th, and 13th grade. We had a great English teacher, and his name was Werner Heck, and he read The Catcher in the Rye with us, and I think we discussed this book for about a year or longer, but it wasn't boring at all. It was really, the way Mr. Heck did this with us was, the discussions was very interesting and very exciting, and this was the first book that we sort of analyzed. And then I studied English literature and German literature at the university, at the RWTH, as it is called, the Technical College in Aachen, which also has the human sciences there still in a small addition compared to the engineer subjects that you can study there. But there I started, of course, we got this introductory course that we had in English literature, and we had to read poems and plays and novels. I think 4 poems, 4 plays, and 4 novels for our so-called intermediate exam, the Zwischenprüfung in German. And then we read like Virginia Woolf, I remember Mrs. Dalloway, I remember, of course, some Shakespearean stuff, Harold Pinter, and poems by William Wordsworth, and I wandered lonely as a cloud that floats on high over vales and hills. When far away I saw a crowd, a host of golden daffodils, a beautiful poem by Wordsworth. Yes, so I would say that it was both Salinger, Catcher in the Rye experience, and the Eric Ambler thrillers that I found myself in the library, in the quirky city library branch of Mönchengladbach. They were I read them in translation, German translation apparently. And Ambler is really an author, I called him my favorite author, which is maybe not true anymore, but I still regard him very, very high, since he's the one who helped me becoming a little bookish, and he also sort of is a very, very good writer. And I think that he's so unknown to many people that he really would deserve that we pick up his books again. If you like John le Carré, if you like Graham Greene, you will definitely like Eric Ambler. The second question comes from Kara188. She writes, curious about the state of public libraries in Sweden, and do you buy or borrow your books? Thank you for your wonderful videos. Thank you for writing beautiful words about this channel. Thank you very much. Do I buy or borrow books? I buy way too many books. I have to change that. I want to change that this year, and I have told myself after my trip to London now, 1 week ago, when I came back from London, that I will sort of be very, very careful in buying new books. There's one book that I probably will have to order very soon because I think the library won't get it. Now we get to the library. The Stockholm City Library has an amazing system. Swedish libraries are, I wouldn't say heaven on earth, but they belong probably to the best library systems in the whole wide world. We pay a lot of taxes, and there are certainly Americans who would say that we are all communists in Sweden because we pay so much taxes. But there's one good reason. There are some good reasons for paying taxes, because we have libraries that sort of offer an amazing service to us, the inhabitants of Stockholm, Sweden. We have the city library, the big one, the central library at Odengatan, and it's an amazing library with tens of thousands of books. The architecture is beautiful. It's the Asplund Library. Asplund is the architect who made this. And we have a lot of branches everywhere in the city of Stockholm, also in Farsta, where I live. And the offers are amazing. There's a lot of books for children. There's always a children's corner because children's reading is supported, is sort of, they try to motivate children to read from the beginning. They have, everything is for free. Even when I order books, it is for free. And when I mean I order books, when it's not, this for example by Patrick Modiano, Chevreuse is not available in Farsta where I live. So I just go online and look at if it's in some other library somewhere here in Stockholm. This is actually, as you can see, in Vällingby, which is about 15 miles from here on the other end of Stockholm. And they just sent it from Vällingby Library to Farsta Library, so I can pick it up here where I live. And this service is for free. They sort of drive the books around for free for us who have cards to loan, to borrow books, and this is just great. And they have an amazing number of English books, but also books in a lot of different languages, not only in German and French and Spanish and Finnish, of course, because there are a lot of Finns, or Arabic or Somali, but also in dozens of other languages. There's one, not in every library, but there's one special library in the International Library in Kungsholmen, and I will actually try to make 1 or 2 videos this year about the library system here in Sweden. But believe me, it's among the best in the world, as is Finland's library system. I think Finland is even one step ahead before Sweden, and then Sweden, Norway and Denmark are just absolutely top-notch in the world.